This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're looking at for Wednesday's games. But before we get into that, let's do a quick recap. If you listened to all the words coming out of my mouth on yesterday's episode, great job. You finished with more money yesterday than what you started with. And then a complete recap for all of our premium users and all of our users that are yet to upgrade to premium but are doing it relatively soon, because you can't ignore money that is being printed left and right unless you hate money. But the MLB spread predictor almost was perfect last night. I mean, it was perfect throughout most of the evening, hitting every single plus 1.5 sided projection. And then it came down to, what was it? Was it like Houston and Arizona or something? Who was Arizona's opponent? I can't even remember. I just remember Arizona with one of the biggest, dumbest collapses. Yeah, it was Houston. So Arizona was the last 1.5 side to hit for a full sweep on the MLB spread predictor yesterday. And they had bases loaded with 0 outs in the bottom of the 9th. The guy up to bat, all he's got to do is he can ground into a double play, and third base can still run in and score, and they would cover. Like, there's so many things. It's like with like Texas Hold'em. They had so many outs to hit on the river. So many outs. And the guy up to bat struck out, and then their catcher, Herrera, had a .191 average on the season and was 0-3 batting out of the 9-hole the entire game. And the manager did not want to sub him in for a pitch hitter who's more competent. So what does Herrera do with 1 out and bases loaded? He grounds into a game-ending double play because he's dumb. And so, because of this chaos of having bases loaded at 0 outs in the bottom of the 9th and not getting a single run through, we only finished at like 99.99% of all of the MLB spread stuff. So we still had an amazing profitable night for our premium members. The MLB spread predictor that was the only blemish on the entire bets for the entire night. And then I've been mentioning this in the past few episodes this week, but we're having a lot of let me pause that real quick. So the reason why this company started last March of last year called PlayerProps is because PlayerProps is the most universal bet type in the country, possibly in the world, but definitely in North America. There are people that are in betting states like New Jersey and Ohio and other states like that where they have sports books where they can do team bets and they can do player prop bets. But then there's also a large sum of you who are in states like Texas, like California, and you can't do the legal team, but you can't bet on like FanDuel, team bets and DraftKings and all that other stuff. But there are prop apps like Prize Picks and a few others where you're able to do player prop stuff. So that's why we kind of focused mainly when we first launched on player props. Now, of course, you've seen enough episodes where you already know we don't just have player props. I mean, we literally have Moneyline, spread, total predictors, and the one I just referenced was the spread predictor for MLB. But because player props is universal, I definitely want to stress this as much as possible. Since we've added the trifecta highlight where you can sort by clicking the T button, this new T button up here, to show only the people that are trifectas. And then if you're like, wait, what is a trifecta? Just go to the YouTube channel and watch the video that says, what is a trifecta? Or go to the trifectas channel in Discord. I've already answered that question a million times. You can find the answer a million different ways. But this is what I want to stress. Since we've added a trifecta button, the hits plus runs plus RBI stat is printing money on a much more rapid pace since the All-Star break ended for MLB than the MLB spread predictor. That's not saying the MLB spread predictor is sucking. It's still definitely profitable, very, very profitable since we brought it in at late April. It's up like $6,000, $7,000 since then. Actually, no, it's up $6,000 since May 12th. I think that's when this new cheat sheet we put out in the Discord every day, that's when I kind of started tracking that. The thing I want to stress is that the MLB spread predictor is still printing money for everybody who has the availability and the legal status based on the state they live in to bet on MLB spreads. The MLB hits plus runs plus RBI stat, which is not only available on traditional sports books in the New Jersey, the Ohio, these other legalized states, but it's also available on almost every single prop app as well. This stat, specifically focusing on trifectas, is hitting at a higher percentage than MLB spreads since we added the trifecta button, which we added that right before MLB All-Star break, kind of like in the middle of that, before that ended. And again, yesterday, I don't think so. I mean, of course, knocking on wood, it's been profitable every single day since the All-Star break ended, since we added that button. And then, yeah, it's something that I was hoping and trying to find a player prop for WNBA or MLB, because that's the two sports we have until college football comes back here a month from today. But I'm like, man, like there's so many people in these prop states that are like, I wish I could do MLB spreads, because people have won tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on specifically using this tool as designed since, for the last like 3 or so months. But now that we found something for player props, which again is the universal bet type, anybody that bets on anything in any state has access to player props. And the fact we finally found a money printing thing just by tweaking, I mean, that's the best part about us updating the app on a daily basis. We're constantly I have a dev team that is constantly working on new features, not just running the app and like, hey, this is what you have. We are constantly adding new features. Like there's a really, really exciting feature that hopefully, knock on wood, is up and running by the end of this week that a lot of you guys have asked for, and I haven't hinted at all of what it is. There's no spoilers. You're all going to find out together, but there's something coming by the end of this week that literally a ton of you have asked for, and it's going to be really sick. But I'm just really excited. I'm just trying to express my excitement that we finally have something that is printing money that anybody can do, and not just the people that are in the legalized betting states. Hits plus runs plus RBIs, printing money. And if you're not sure what that stat means, I'm actually, after this, I'm done recording this episode, because I've had so many people, not so many, but a handful of people in Discord ask about it. I'm going to do another video specifically covering the HRR stat. But just a quick recap, if it's like a 0.5 line for hits plus runs plus RBIs, that doesn't mean they have to get at least one of each. They just need to get one of any. The scenario I said on yesterday's show was if somebody comes up to bat and you have over 0.5 HRR and there's somebody on third base and there's less than 2 outs, they can hit a sacrifice fly, pop out to left field or fly out, and it won't count as a hit, but because they drove the runner in from third, it'll count as an RBI and they'll hit. So they can actually go 0 for 4 or 0 for 3. As long as they get an RBI, it checks the box. Or maybe they get walked where they don't get a hit, and then somebody else drives them in and they get a run that checks the box. So it's my second favorite stat. Clearly strikeouts, as you see, is my favorite one, because I think it's the easiest for AI to predict, which is why we're always on it, focusing on it. And that's why this show that we've been doing for the past 2 MLB seasons has made you guys tens of thousands of dollars just by listening and playing them as designed. Not as you want to, as designed. If you are losing using the PlayerProps.ai app, that is because you're not using the tool as designed. If you're like, well, how do I use it as designed? Go up to here. There's a button staring you right in the face. Tap to learn how to use the player prop predictor. Well, click on that and it'll tell you how to use it as designed. But we also have a community Discord with 17,000 plus members in it that will help you if you ask questions. You can't learn, or you can't get your questions answered if you don't ask your questions. So use the Discord for that. But now that we've covered all those things, there are still so many people that watch this show that have not entered the 100% free to enter $5,000 cash and prizes giveaway. What are you doing? Why are you betting Why are you doing anything betting if you don't have the mindset of doing everything in your power to have more money at the end of the day than what you started with? This is not a $5 cash and prizes giveaway. This is a $5,000 cash and prizes giveaway. It's actually insulting that I am giving you $5,000 out of my pocket, and you are sitting there watching this, and you see that thing go across the top in every single video. You see that on every single Discord post, and you're like, you know what? I could probably use $5,000 in cash and prizes, but you know what? I'm just going to pull the lazy card, and I'm not going to do anything and watch someone else win something that was super easy to join and free to sign up for. It is borderline insulting. Enter the gosh dang giveaway, or I will not ever be giving away cash and prizes ever again. I don't see... I expect there to be tens of thousands of people that enter this, because there's tens of thousands of people that watch these shows. I will never do another cash and prizes giveaway. If you watching this right now, do not enter it. You will never have another opportunity. No more giveaways. None. You gotta enter it. And then, of course, it's not on right now, but you see going across the top, the day pass is something that is becoming really, really popular for those who want to try the entire suite of tools, completely full access to that and everything in Discord as well. The only thing that I want to stress is that you are in the Discord and you have already confirmed that your accounts are synced. You've synced your PlayerProps.ai account to your Discord account. The details of how to do that are in the Unlock Channels channel. Do not do the day pass unless you've done that, because you're going to miss out on all the value that premium comes with. But the day pass is also free after you sign up for it, and when you go to upgrade to either monthly or annual, we give that $10 right back to you, so it's like you never paid for anything in the first place, which is why it's so popular. Okay, let's find something for today. So we're just going to go ahead and click this button here. It seems like there's no over trifectas on DraftKings. Let's check the underside. We do have good old Brandon. He's actually been really, really good. Not in terms of just strikeouts, but he's been really good on pitching recently. He's versing Houston. Houston is the 22nd most, which means they're the 8th least. We like the red here because we're going under. They're about midway through the league in the last 3. And it's a trifecta because the sportsbooks agree with it. And it's at least a 1.0 difference here. Before we click on anything else, let's just look at this real quick. So I don't like the fact that in the last 5 games, he has hit this. He's gotten 7 Ks, 6 Ks here against St. Louis. San Diego is the second least strikeoutiest team. I think Toronto right now is the least, but San Diego is also on the ban list. We wouldn't have played this anyway. But the fact that he got 8 innings and 99 pitches, that's like what we like to see. Oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about yesterday's freaking show play. This guy, I don't think we've had somebody hit their strikeout line before the second inning was over with. This guy, we had him at over 3.5 Ks. At the end of the first, he had 3. He just needed 1 more. And his second out in the second inning, he hit it. And it was the most no-sweat strikeout prop in this show's history. I don't think that's ever happened, that somebody has hit their strikeout line before the second inning was over with. It was crazy. So you guys all made money with that. I mean, expect him to get Colorado here. St. Louis is not really a strikeout team, 91 pitches. But anyway, what I was referencing is that when we want to go over, you want to see people that are clicking the 90s, and he is. But we're not going over on him, which is what I'm concerned about. But, I mean, versing Atlanta's a high strikeout team. He only had 74 pitches there because they lit him up for 5 earned runs. Toronto's a low strikeout team. He only got 3 there. And he needs to get 6 to hit. And again, Houston has not been striking out a lot this season. If we go to head-to-head, he hasn't versed Houston yet this season, but he versed Houston last season on September 6th. And he went 4.2 innings, gave up 4 runs, and only got 5 Ks. So the hope here is that he gets lit up where he doesn't click the 90s or high 90s. Let's look at his other stats real quick. So the sportsbooks have his line at 2.5 and favor him going under 2.5 earned runs, but our AI actually says he should probably hit 2.8 or 3 essentially. His hits allowed is under 6.5. And so we haven't added this as an official trifecta, but if you watched, was it Monday's show when we did the three different props for Leader, the Texas Ranger pitcher? This is a trifecta based on our new standards because we're using the same rules as strikeouts for hits allowed. It's at least 1.0 difference. Sportsbooks favor the under. The thing is that game that he went against Houston, they lit him up for 8 runs. But again, that was almost an entire year ago. Over the course of this season, he's only given up 7 hits or more, 3 games. The entire season, 3 games. So it looks like the sportsbooks favor him, the minus 155, going more than 17.5 outs, which he's done the last 3 games. So 18 outs, he has to hit 18 outs to hit this line in theory, even though, so I'm not saying go over because AI says go under. But if you don't understand how outs work, there's 3 outs in an inning. So if there's 18 outs they have to hit, that means they pitch a minimum of 6 full innings because 6 times 3 is 18. So if he gets pulled before the 7th inning starts, then he hits. Or if he pitches into the 7th inning, he hits. But if he gets pulled before the 6th inning is over with, then the under hits on here. And he's done that 3 out of the last 3 games, and he's gotten pulled the 4 games prior, this 15. The math again just means he gets pulled after the 5th inning is over with. So he pitched 5 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings, much more innings. What was that, 7 innings? I don't really like that one there. I just want to reference it. Walks allowed. Minus 290 is nasty. We're not going to touch that. So what I'm looking at is potentially doing something similar to what we did on Monday. Where we do a K play, we do a hits play. AI, we're not going to touch that because AI and the books aren't on the same page. But what we did on Monday is we also did walks allowed, but walks allowed doesn't make sense for this player. So let me peep real quick. See if there's any trifectas. No, same with FanDuel. No over trifectas, just this FanDuel one here. It's a 3:40 p.m. game. All right, let me see on FanDuel. Yeah, nothing makes sense there either. Well, we don't want to finish with 2 because we're not going to do just 2. I mentioned that yesterday's show. It doesn't mathematically make sense to do 2 picks because if one's right, you don't make profit. So you might as well do 1 pick because if one's not right, you don't make profit. But if you do 3, you set yourself up for a chance to get 2 out of 3, which is profitable, which is what we did on Monday's show. So right now what we're looking at is we're looking at the trifecta for under Ks. We're looking at the trifecta for under hits allowed. We need one more thing there. And there's nothing with this. I almost was going to go to the MLB spread predictor, but I've been referencing this hits, runs, RBI thing. So let me actually... Okay, there's currently no... Oh, there we go. We just didn't have the right thing toggled. Let me see if Joey... So Joey's in our Discord. He's one of the guys that is creating cheat sheets for us. on a somewhat daily basis, and he's helping us print more money than we were already with the hits, runs, RBIs and stuff. And then he helped out with the spread things, but we kind of automated that. So I'm looking in Discord right now, and I want to see. Let me see here. .334 is a really nice number, but my concern is, where is he batting out of? Wait, who is he? He's Milwaukee, not. He's batting out of the 9 hole. So he's going to get the least amount of at-bats because he's batting out of the 9 spot, which I really don't like. But the positive side is if he gets walked in batting out of the 9 hole, then as soon as he gets walked, it goes to the top of the inning. And so any of these guys who are much better hitters than him, because he wouldn't be batting out of the 9 hole if he wasn't, they can drive him in potentially if he gets on base. He had a streak here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games of hitting a line of 0.5 hits, runs, RBI. Man. I was checking to see it. So Joey did a recap. Joey. Maybe that's the sign. Maybe because his name is Joey and Joey's cheat sheets are printing money in the Discord for the hits, runs, RBIs. So what he's been doing is he loves doing Excel sheets, right? Which is why he always has these cheat sheets that he drops in these recaps and things. So what he's been doing, which is awesome, much props to him, is now that we've added this trifecta here and the trifecta button, he went back to, like, let's just use Joey Ortiz, for example. He's like, okay, now that we have a defined trifecta within the app itself, which is this trifecta button, he goes back and he's like, how many times has Joey Ortiz been a trifecta? And how many of those times has he hit his line as a trifecta, whether it's hitting the over or the under, whatever the trifecta side is. So I don't have that cheat sheet in the Discord right now to reference, but I feel like this might be a sign. The fact that his name is Joey, and he's got the highest difference out of anybody. So we're going to do a little bit what we did on Monday, except we're not going to do all 3 on the same player because there's only 2 things we like. We're going to go under Ks for Brandon. We're going to go under hits allowed for Brandon. And we're going to go over 0.5 HRR for good old Joey, because Joey's the Discord GOAT. I think that's what we're going to be doing here, ladies and gents. The only thing I'm going to look at is his handedness is right, and his pitcher he's versing is right. So he's a right matchup. If we scroll down, he doesn't really have a good average. He doesn't have a good average against either side. That's why he's batting out of the 9 spot. But the AI came up with 2.17, not out of its butt. It came up with that for a reason. And I feel like this Joey thing is a sign. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go under Ks for Brandon, under hits allowed. We're going to go over 0.5 HRR. I just explained at the beginning of this video what that means, what needs to happen. So if you ignored everything I've been saying for the past 2 years and you fast forward to the end because you pulled the lazy card and you didn't want to actually see how we got to these plays or explain why we're looking at them, then first off, shame on you. You're not trying to do anything to better yourself. You have to apply yourself or you'll have a 0% chance of success, which is why you see everybody printing money in Discord, because the people that are premium in Discord are applying themselves. They're not going to sign up for a premium subscription. That's only $1.97 a day, which makes it a no-brainer if you're betting at least $10 a day or more. But they're not going to sign up and pay for something and not apply themselves. But the people that haven't signed up and upgraded their account to premium, they have that card they pull, which is, I can do whatever I want to do. It's not going to cost me any more money or less. But the people that take that leap to premium, they're like, well, I'm paying for something, so I might as well use the app, the full access I now have to Discord and the app, to make the most out of it. So what does Teacher Trevor say to do on every episode? This, and this. So learn how to use the app, upgrade your account. Make sure you learn how to use the app first so you get the most out of your upgrade, which, again, you just click the button that says tap to learn at the top of all the 10 tools we have. Ask questions in Discord. Do not do whatever you want to do because that's not working out, which is why you're losing money. What you want to do is costing you money, you and your family money. The way that we teach you how to do things is how to stop losing all the money that you've earned for you and your family. Curb your losses, lock in, use the app as designed, bet how you should bet as a smart person, which is the bankroll management guidelines. Lock these things in as designed, and we'll see you guys in the Discord. Good luck, guys.